like my shirt? Thanks, I made it. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how I made this top. It's the Isla top by Tiana's Closet. I talked about it in my recent video where I showed you 10 patterns for the spring, and I was really dying to make it. I used this sort of creepy fabric that I got at Joann's on major sale because they are no longer with us. Rip Joanne. But it was really fun to make, and not hard at all. A lot of people in my comments have mentioned that they are having trouble downloading the patterns from Tiana's Closet. So I just made a video explaining that. It's my most recent video. So I'll have it pop up here and I will have it in the description if you are one of those people. But otherwise, let's get started. So the first thing I'm doing here is I'm just cutting out all my pattern pieces. You're going to need 2 lower front panels, 1 lower back panel, 4 of the upper front panels, 2 of the upper back panels, 2 sleeves, and 4 strips for the straps. And all of this information is on the website. The first thing I'm going to sew is 2 long running stitches on the lower back panel and the 2 lower front panels. And this is to create a gathering stitch. I talked about the gathering stitch in my thrift flip video where I made a top out of a button-down shirt. So if you're looking for more information, definitely head over there. But essentially, you make 2 running stitches on the longest setting and tie 2 of the strings together, 1 from the top row and 1 from the bottom row. Now I'm going to be pinning it to the upper top panel, as you can see, and this is just to make sure that I get the correct measurement. I'm doing that to all 3 panels to get the correct gathering size. Now that that's done, I'm creating my 4 straps, and to do this, I cut out a panel of about 2 inches by 14 inches. You can really eyeball this. There are no size requirements in the pattern, and what I did here is just sew down along the channel and cut off the excess. I probably did about a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I used a loop turner to turn it inside out. So this is a little gadget that I recently started using, and I find it to be super helpful. You basically just put the tube on, and then at the top, you use the little latch hook to pierce the fabric and really hook it on there, and then you just pull. It's super duper easy, and I find this helps me. It saves so much time. I used to just use like a skewer or the back of a paintbrush or something. So I find this device to be really, really helpful. And voila, now I have 4 strips. Did you like that movie Magic? I know I did. Anyway, the next thing we're going to do is take our 2 upper back pieces and sew them along the neckline. The upper half of the garment has 2 layers for, I'm assuming, stability and to prevent it from being too see-through, which I do really enjoy. And I hope that this tutorial is making sense and it's not too fast-paced. If it is, be sure to comment below with any questions you have and check out her instructions on the website. I'm just snipping this, and then I moved on to the front panel. So you're gonna take the straps that you made and pin them onto the front, 1 at the top and 1 about 4 inches down. And then you're gonna take the other half, which this one is pinned to my lower front panel, but I should have taken that off. But you're gonna do that to both sides and pin it down really well so that way you don't lose your little straps. Then you're gonna do a straight stitch along the neckline and down the front, like you can see here. And this will just secure the straps in as well as create that nice neckline for you. As you can see here, I'm just pressing everything flat. I find pressing your garments as you work really makes the world of a difference in how they turn out. It's easy to skip this step because it seems unnecessary, but I do think that it is very necessary, and it's very satisfying as well. So highly recommend ironing. I love to iron. I'll link this iron below. I really like it, and it was pretty affordable. So now you're gonna take those 3 pieces, the 2 upper front and the 1 upper back, which now have 2 layers each, and just sew together the shoulder seams. Here you can do a French hem, or you can serge the edges, or do a zigzag stitch, whatever you wanna do, but this is going to be a raw edge. So I did a zigzag stitch on the edge to keep it from fraying. Now we're going to be attaching the front 2 panels together. In the instructions, they recommend that you stop at this blue mark that I have at the top, but I found it to be kind of low, so I would personally recommend stitching it all the way to the top because you do have that opening at the upper front panels anyway, so it's not that much of a difference, but I feel like it just looks cleaner. At this point, we are going to be attaching the bottom panels to the top panels, and we're gonna sandwich the bottom into the top. So what you're gonna do here is fold the top panel edge up about 1/2 inch with each layer facing inward to hide that raw edge. Ironing first, again, just creates a really nice clean look, which I do think makes a very big difference. And then we're gonna attach the top and the bottom pieces. Okay, at this point we have our ironed top piece and we have our gathered bottom piece. And you're just going to take the bottom and really simply pin it into the top. Pin it really well. And the more you pin, the better your garment will come out. I hope you guys like my little graphics. I was having a lot of fun doing that. But we're gonna do the same thing to the front 2 panels and attach them exactly the same way, just pinning it in like a sandwich. And then you're just gonna do a top stitch over the whole thing. It's really important that you pin it as well as you can, so that way you're making sure that you grab the top layer and the bottom layer in that seam. So now we're just gonna sew up the sides to create the main garment. And I just did a zigzag stitch on either of the sides. And then I'm going to do the same gathering technique that we did for the lower front and back panels, where I do the 2 long running stitches on the sleeves. Then I'm going to close up the sleeve panel. This is how the instructions tell you to do it, but I think I ended up doing it the other way, where I created the tube of the sleeve and then I added the gathering stitches, so that way I didn't stitch over the gathering stitches. Again, referring to my thrift flip video where I showed you how to do this on a sleeve, I did the same exact technique. I'm sorry, this angle is just so bad, but the same technique where I pinned it at incremental points and then slowly made the gathering stitches smaller and smaller until it fit. Now here's me trying it on. Yes! Let's see if Buddy likes it. Buddy loves it. Here I'm just picking out the gathering stitches that are visible on the sleeve. If your gathering stitches are showing, I would recommend that you do this after you stitch the sleeves together. And then I just did a zigzag stitch around the sleeve. Now we're gonna create a channel for the elastic around the sleeve. I just folded my sleeve up about 1 inch and then another inch to create the tube. And then I just did a quick stitch around. Now I'm measuring my elastic to fit my arm, and here's Carly B in the background. Love her, hey queen. Ignore my messy bed. And then I just attached the end of the elastic to a safety pin and ran it through the sleeve. And the last thing you have to do here is sew together the ends of the elastic. I did a zigzag stitch for that, and then I just did a straight stitch to close up that little gap I left for my channel. And then to finish it off, I did a quick rolled hem on the bottom of the shirt, and it's done! Here's me frolicking. La la la, la la la. And it's done! So yes, I was already wearing it in the beginning, but here's the finished top. I think it came out super duper cute. It wasn't that hard, right guys? It was easy. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'll be sure to get back to you. I had a lot of fun making this top, and I hope that you do as well. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. And let me know if there are any videos that you want to see from me. If you like videos like this, or if you want to see something that's a little bit more vlog style where I'm just sewing and not explaining. I'm just sort of like, we're just sort of hanging out. Those are the types of videos that I like to watch, so I'm hoping to do some more like that. And I will see you in the next video.